Alright, going to take a look at some more examples. This is strictly on the Marzock Left Hand rule, though. Alright, strictly on the Marzock Left Hand rule, so if you want to really figure it out, this will help. So this is what I mean. You got your hand, Marzock's left hand. You're staring right at Marzock's left hand. 0-degree finger, 30-degree finger, 45-degree finger, 60-degree finger, 90-degree finger. That's also 0 radians, pi over 6 radians, pi over 4 radians, pi over 3 radians, and pi over 2. Remember, to find sine is the square root of left over 2. To find cosine is the square root of right over 2. And to find tangent is the square root of left over the square root of the right. Okay? So, 0. Okay, find all 6 trig values. So, 0-degree finger. Okay, so I put the 0-degree finger down. There it is. So, 0-degree finger is put down. Sine is the square root of the left over 2. I count the number of fingers to the left. There are 0 fingers to the left, so sine is 0. Cosine is square root of the right over 2. You count the number of fingers to the right. There are 4 fingers to the right. Root 4 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so cosine is 1. Tangent is a square root of the left, which is 0, over the square root of the right, which is 4. That's 0 over 2, which is 0. So to find the other trig values, just the opposite. The opposite of sine is cosecant. So the opposite of 0 would be 1 over 0. But 1 over 0 is undefined. So there is no answer is what we're saying. You can't have the cosecant for 0. Cosine of 1, if you flip it for secant, you end up getting 1. Tangent is 0. When you flip tangent, you end up getting 1 over 0 for cotangent, which is also undefined. So you can't do it. 30 degrees. So I put down my 30-degree finger. Put your 30-degree finger down. It's the square root of the left. There's only 1 finger to the left when I count it, so that's why it's 1/2. Cosine is the square root of the right over 2. That's root 3 over 2 because there's 3 fingers to the left. Tangent is the square root of the left over the square root of the right. There's 1 finger to the left, 3 fingers to the right, so it's 1 over root 3, but you can't have root 3 on the bottom, so you rationalize it to get root 3 over 3. So to find the others, opposite of sine is cosecant. So if we said sine was 1/2, you flip it for a cosecant to get 2. Cosine, you flip it to get secant, which is 2 over root 3, but you got to rationalize it to get 2 root 3 over 3. Tangent, when you flip it, you end up getting root 3 over 1, which is root 3 for cotangent. 45 degrees. Put your middle finger down. So, when you do that, it's the square root of the left over 2. There are 2 fingers to the left. So it's root 2 over 2. Cosine is the square root of right over 2. There are 2 fingers to the right. So it is root 2 over 2 as well. Tangent is root 2 over root 2. Right? Root 2 over root 2, square root of the left over square root of the right, which is 1. So 45 degrees, find the opposites. Opposite of sine is cosecant. So opposite, you just flip it. So it's 2 root 2. Well, we've got to rationalize it to get root 2 because you end up having 2 root 2 over 2 and the 2's cancel out. Opposite of cosecant, you flip it. You get 2 root 2, 2 over root 2, which you multiply by root 2 on the top and the bottom, and you also get just root 2. Tangent, when you flip a 1, cotangent is 1. 60 degrees, put your 60-degree finger down. When you do that, everything to the left, there are 1, 2, 3 fingers to the left, so it's root 3 over 2. Cosine is square root of right. There's 1 finger to the left, which is square root of 1 over 2, which is 1/2. Square root of the left over the square root of the right, so it's root 3 over 1, which is root 3. So to find the rest of them, you just flip them. So flip sine to get cosecant, so it's 2 over root 3, so you do the reciprocal on both the top and the bottom to get 2 root 3 over 3. Cosine, you flip 1 over 2 to get secant, which is 2 over 1, which is 2. Tangent, root 3, when you flip it, you get 1 over root 3, but you got to rationalize it. So you get root 3 over 3. And the 90-degree finger, find all 6 of those. You put your thumb down. That is the square root of the left for sine. So there's 4 fingers to the left. So that is 2 over 2 then, because root 4 is 2. So 2 over 2, which is 1. Cosine is the square root of right over 2. How many fingers are to the right? None. So that's 0. Tangent is the square root of the left over the square root of the right, which is 2 over 0. So tangent is undefined. So sine is 1, cosine is 0, tangent is undefined. So to find the other values, you just flip it. So flip sine, you get 1 for cosecant. Flip cosine, you get undefined because you can't have something with 0 on the bottom. Now remember, tangent we said was 2 over 0. When you flip that, you end up getting 0, so cotangent does work. Tangent didn't work, that was undefined, but cotangent does work. So now what happens when you have a degree that does not fit on your finger? Right? We need to find the reference angles. Every time you look at the reference angle, remember to draw it to the x-axis. So 120 degrees. This is 180. That's 90. 120 goes right in here. So I would do 180 minus 120 to get 60 degrees, which means I need to do the 60-degree finger. So sine is square root of 3 over 2. Cosine is the square root of 1 over 2. Tangent is the square root of 3 over the square root of 1, which is root 3. But we need to keep in mind, when I find the others here, I flip them all. Remember, all you do is flip them. So I have them all flipped. No problem. Okay? So I flipped them all, but here's the catch. The catch is we need to remember that the quadrants, it was in quadrant 2. In quadrant 2, only sine is positive. So that means sine and cosecant are positive, but everything else needs to be negative. Right? All students take calculus, so sine is the only one positive. So sine is positive, cosine is positive. But that's negative, that's negative, that's negative then, and that's negative. Only sine and cosecant are going to be positive. 225. This is 180, this is 270, so 225 is right in the middle here between them. 225, okay, if this is 180, then 180 plus something will give you 225, so just take 225 minus that 180. So it's a 45-degree angle. 45-degree angle means you put your middle finger down. So sine is root 2 over 2. Cosine is root 2 over 2. Tangent is root 2 divided by root 2, so which is 1. So to find the rest, you just flip them. So you get root 2, flip that one to get root 2, flip that one to get 1. But you have to remember it was in quad 3. Quad 3, tangent is positive. So this is positive and this is positive, but everything else is negative. That means that's negative and that's negative and that's negative and that's negative. All of those are negative. But tangent and cotangent are not. Okay, and when we come back here, I'll finish up on these with the hand rule then as well, the Marzock left hand rule.